That's exactly how it should be when you sit in the ID Buggy. The sun above you, the sand below, and the Pacific right in front of you. This beach cruiser is electric and silent. You can even hear the sea lions in the distance. Perfect.
It's cool.
I like it. It's a really cool car.
I think it's great.
This concept car takes the idea of the legendary dune buggy and transports it into the age of electromobility. And it shows how much fun you can have with emission-free driving. During the Monterey Car Week, the ID Buggy takes its first trips on the roads and beaches of California. Here, journalists, bloggers, and influencers can take the fun car out for a spin. One of them is Supercar Blondie, the most famous car blogger in the world.
It's actually a really clever concept to have a dune buggy electric, fully electric, because when you are out in nature, right, and you're by the waves, this is like my happy place, hearing those waves crash right now. You can only really hear that when you're in a fully silent vehicle. So it actually makes sense if you're out in nature to hear the nature and not the engine of the car or the buggy that you're driving in. So I actually think those two things work really nicely together.
Since its premiere in Geneva, the ID Buggy has been turning many heads. That's no different in California, whether it poses between superjets and vintage cars at the McCall Motorworks Revival, or while taking the famous 17-mile drive on the Monterey Peninsula.
It's unique in many ways. The dune buggy, when it was invented, was almost like that as well. Something that's completely different and very much focused on one specific task, so to speak. So this one, it's a modern reinterpretation of that whole theme, and I think it looks really great. It has that whole neo-retro look, but at the same time looks very futuristic. So it's a really cool car.
Without a roof or doors, the ID Buggy shows how versatile the modular electric drive kit can be. The body can be removed from the MEB chassis. In this way, Volkswagen opens this platform to external manufacturers, giving them many options for their own creations. The original Myers-Mainz buggy kit, based on the VW Bug of the 1960s, serves as a historical example for this.
Considering this is a Volkswagen and it's also kind of the successor to the Myers-Mainz, I think it's a car that people would buy and use every day. I mean, you would probably see these parked where we're standing, full of sand and full of beach towels and stuff. It's not, I'm hoping some get stashed away in garages so we can have nicer ones in 40 years. But I hope these cars get used too, because they deserve to be.
The electric motor with its single-gear transmission puts out 150 kilowatts of power, giving the ID Buggy a range of 250 kilometers, according to the WLTP cycle. That's enough for even the longest beaches. The car's interior is water-resistant, just perfect for riding along the Pacific. Obviously, California beaches are the preferred environment of the ID Buggy.